Tonight on KVR News, a winter wonderland, millions under the icy grip of Mother Nature.
It was the game heard around the world. I'm John Scott, and coming up, I'll show you what student government is doing in response to the Catch an Illegal Immigrant game.
They can certainly repay you with love and kisses, and I don't think there's anything better than that.
How these pups are helping students distress before finals.
You're watching KVR News, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage.
Broadcasting live from the Texas Student Television Studios at the University of Texas. You're watching KVR News at 9, Austin's leader for live, local UT coverage. Your news starts right now.
Good evening, you're watching KVR News for Monday, December 9th. I'm John Scott.
And I'm Cathryn Walker. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
Now, winter weather is causing havoc across the country, snarling traffic and leading to the cancellation of hundreds of flights nationwide.
The powerful storm has slowly been moving eastward, bringing frigid temperatures and snow from Dallas to D.C. More than 1,700 flights were canceled today alone, according to FlightAware.com.
But it's not just flights that have been affected. Take a look at this 30-car pileup in Milwaukee. Oh my gosh. Drivers struggled with icy roads. Now, emergency officials in Wisconsin say there were so many accidents due to the weather that they couldn't count them all. And many cities along the East Coast face a tough commute again tomorrow, with another round of wintry weather on the way.
Forecasters are predicting as much as 3 to 5 more inches of snow for the Washington area, and Philadelphia could pick up as much as 3 more inches. Meanwhile, here in Texas, more than 17,000 homes and businesses in the Dallas area are still without power.
Now, here in the capital city, the chance for freezing rain and sleet has now left the picture, but will remain on the cold side through the week. Simon Liu will have the full details a little later in the newscast. Investigators are still working to determine who murdered an Austin teacher in Libya last week. UT graduate Ronnie Smith was shot and killed in the city of Benghazi while on a morning jog. Smith had spent the past 18 months teaching in Libya and was preparing to return home next week for the holidays. Many of his students took to Twitter using the hashtag Mr. Smith Memories to celebrate his life. One tweeted, "He once told me he would stay in Libya even if he had no job. He was there for the experience. There is no better man." Smith is survived by his wife and young son.
Tributes are pouring in from around the world for former South African President Nelson Mandela. He died on Thursday after battling a lung infection. President Obama will join former Presidents Bush, Clinton, and Carter in Johannesburg this week to attend a memorial service. The ceremony will be held tomorrow in the Soweto Soccer Stadium. More than 50 other heads of states are planning to be at that service, with thousands joining to pay their respects to the former president. Mandela was South Africa's first black president after the end of apartheid in the country. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. That's what many were saying online after the company's official Twitter caused controversy, paying tribute to the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. Many ridiculed the tweet because the grinning animated SpaghettiO, who was holding an American flag, looked too happy to be remembering the tragic day. The company later removed the tweet, replacing it with an apology, saying, "We meant to pay respect, not to offend." Saturday was the 72nd anniversary of the attack, which killed more than 2,400 people.
UT officials are working to improve campus security, implementing an access code system for entry to buildings. More than a third of buildings on campus now have that system in place. The security upgrade was prompted by an incident back in September in which a non-UT student stabbed a female in the nose with a fork. Authorized students and staff now have to use their ID to get into a designated building after hours, and university officials can lock down buildings with the touch of a button in an emergency. The university plans to install systems in every building on campus over the next few years. Now, well, we've been reporting for weeks now on the fallout of the Young Conservatives of Texas's proposed Catch an Illegal Immigrant game. That group's attempt to protest illegal immigration might soon lead to changes for incoming freshmen. 2, 3.
It is mocking our lives. It's extremely offensive to us. That's not a game. These are human lives that we're dealing with.
Deborah Alamu is protesting the Young Conservatives of Texas Catch an Immigrant game. The game sparked nationwide outrage and caught the attention of some big names.
We are better than these tactics based on ignorance and intolerance. We are capable of better. UT Austin is better than this game.
The game was later canceled by YCT with this statement from chapter chairman Lorenzo Garcia. I spoke with our chapter's members, and they are both concerned that the university will retaliate against them and that the protest against the event could create a safety issue for our volunteers.
The cameras are gone and the protesters are silent. So what's next? Student Body Vice President Eugeo Williams is leading an effort to promote Bill AR-19, which will implement a cultural component in summer orientation.
A lot of the students in these last couple of years have dealt with issues having to do with racial violence, either racial tension, marginalization from particular groups, and that's the first time, you know, some of those students are exposed to it. So it really just makes sense to do it, you know, in that portion.
The cultural component during summer orientation would address the largest number of incoming students in one setting. Incoming first-year students could be most receptive with the information, and that student government believes the implementation of a cultural component will improve cultural awareness. Student government is hoping to pass the bill in time for the cultural component to be implemented during the 2014 summer orientation.
Will be voting on Resolution AR-19 in their first general meeting in the new year.
More university students than ever before are now receiving A grades. That's according to a study by UT and the University of Wisconsin, which shows that universities nationwide are experiencing so-called grade inflation. 43% of all college letter grades are now A's. At the same time, companies are complaining that there are not enough talented candidates applying for positions. Researchers are concluding that schools are not providing graduates with challenging enough skills. Student evaluations of professors are playing an ever-increasing role in tenure, and researchers believe this power over the professors is a key factor in the higher grades.
And now, as chilly weather takes hold, how students are trying to chill ahead of exams.
And snowboarding in Central Texas. A look at how it's possible when we come back. You're watching KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. The popular Trail of Lights has returned to Austin for the holiday season. Last year's trail was named one of the top 10 holiday lighting events in the country by USA Today. Because of the success, the City of Austin and Trail of Lights Foundation extended the festival to 2 weeks this year. In addition to the trail display, many new attractions have been added, including a merchandise area and family-friendly entertainment. The trail is now open from 7 to 10 each night until December 22nd. For parking tips and information, you can head to austintrailoflights.org. Parts of Central Texas did see some snow flurries this weekend, but we're certainly not used to snowboarding weather. But as Stacy Rickard shows us, that doesn't mean Austinites have to miss out on the winter sport altogether.
If you're traveling down I-35 south just an hour from Austin, you'll see this big sign called Texas Ski Ranch. But don't let that name fool you. It's got much more than just water skiing and wakeboarding. I sat down with Katie Bialik as she tells us about the newest development here at Texas Ski Ranch.
So our newest facility out here is the snowboarding and tubing. So that's the TSR Snow Park. It's really cool. So basically, one of the marketing directors from Burton came down and he met with the owners of TSR, which is really cool because Burton's a huge company. They decided to partner up with us and help us build the facility that we'd always dreamed about.
But how exactly does the TSR Snow Park work?
It's a big hill that is a dirt hill covered in concrete. Then there's a layer of padding and then a layer of turf. When you spray it down with water, you can go snowboarding and tubing on it.
This new facility that opened up in late October 2013 is one of the first in the world.
Kind of what makes it different than any other terrain park in the world is that Burton has put a lot of time and effort into helping us design the perfect hill for beginners and advanced riders.
If you're anxious about going down the slope snowboarding, they have what's called snow tubing.
So it's really a lot of fun for all levels. And then, of course, the tubing is just awesome. So all sorts of fun stuff going on out there.
So whether you're just now ready to hit the slopes or you've been a pro snowboarder for years, Texas Ski Ranch has something for everyone ages 6 and up.
Stacy Reichard, KVR News.
Well, classes are officially over for the semester, which means final exams are right around the corner.
If If you don't already know your exam schedule, you can head to the UT Registrar's website. There you'll find all the information you need to know about exam dates, times, and locations.
And as the semester wraps up, exams, projects, and deadlines can start to pile on top of each other. Some students can easily find themselves getting overwhelmed.
Luke Menadeni shows us how UT's Campus Event and Entertainment Committee helps students cope with the Chill Fest.
It's that time of the year again. Study groups are forming and the coffee is pouring as students get ready for finals. To help survive this tough time of the year, UT's Campus Event and Entertainment Committee held a Chill Fest for students.
I mean, sometimes we're so caught up in school and finals, and sometimes we just need a getaway just to relax and unwind.
And students did just that with the help of coloring tables, cookies, and some furry friends. When out petting a therapy dog, some students confided in a fortune teller, possibly to figure out how they will do on their exams. Christian Menard said he enjoyed the Chill Fest because of the friendly atmosphere.
The fact that you're just chilling and relaxing, it's real friendly. It's a real friendly environment. You get to talk to people and just say, hey, how you doing? Even the people that are involved in it, like the guy that's giving me a massage, I was able to talk to him.
The slogan for this year's Chill Fest was "Get off the struggle bus and distress." Luke Menadeni, KVR News.
Well, many other student organizations are also attempting to calm the nerves ahead of exams.
Alex Wilkins shows us how the Natural Sciences Council helped to lighten spirits before finals week.
The Natural Sciences Council provided cookies, candy, and some furry friends to help students get rid of pre-finals stress. They teamed up with Austin Pets Alive, the city's no-kill shelter, for the event Canines and Cookies on Wednesday. Students could grab cookies and candy on their way to class or stop to pet dogs from the shelter. Jamie Lee, a member of the Natural Sciences Council, who also volunteers for Austin Pets Alive, said that working with dogs not only helps her with stress, but benefits the dogs as well.
It's an incredibly rewarding experience. It's one of those great things where you walk in and you know you're making a difference, especially in a dog's life. And even if they can't repay you with money or with food, they can certainly repay you with love and kisses, and I don't think there's anything better than that.
The council hoped to relieve some of the pressure off students and increase awareness about no-kill shelters.
This little guy is one way to de-stress before finals. I hit the 40 acres to see how other students are coping with stress before finals week.
I like watch movies or like hang out with friends or just sit on a bench. Like we just sit there and like watch people. Kind of takes your mind off of it.
I do a lot of yoga. A lot of yoga.
I try not to necessarily worry about the grade too much or GPA, just what I'm taking away from it, and that helps with the stress more than anything, and allows me to appreciate what I'm learning.
I stress eat. I know that about myself.
Play video games, but that's specific to me. I mean, like, people could just take a walk around campus, they could go hang out with their friends. Yeah, there's lots of stuff to do. It's not like we have a shortage of fun things in Austin.
Alex Wilkins, KVR News.
Snow across much of the country, not here in Central Texas, but still very cold. I'm Simon Liu. I'll have you look at the week ahead next. You're watching KVR News.
Have a news tip or story idea? Call the KVR News tip line, 475-8181.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm Simon Liu. Now, we've just endured a week of depressingly frigid weather, and unfortunately, this coming week will be more of the same. Tonight, expect temperatures to drop to the mid-20s with 10 to 15 miles per hour northerly winds. And with tonight's wind chill readings in the teens and 20s after midnight, I strongly suggest you stay indoors and keep yourselves warm. Tuesday should mark the return of sunshine, but don't keep your hopes too high, as temperatures peak in the mid-40s and dip to the mid-20s once again, overnight into Wednesday. It will get progressively cloudier over Wednesday and Thursday as temperatures top out in the low 50s and drop to the low to mid-30s both nights, with a 30% chance of rain on Thursday evening. Friday follows suit, with cloudy weather and a 30% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms, as temperatures reach a high of 54 and drop to the mid-40s at night. And it looks like clearer skies over the weekends, despite temperatures peaking around 60 degrees on both days. This week's weather does look cold, with below average temperatures in the middle of the week. Remember to keep your umbrella and rain jacket handy, put those winter layers on, and stay toasty this week. Live from the Weather Center, Simon Liu, KVR News.
Thanks, Simon. I cannot believe that this time last week we were in the 80s.
It's insane, and this weekend was literally freezing. Like, I was at the game in Waco, and I literally could not feel my face, feet, hands. It was pretty miserable. But speaking of that game, Amy Johnson joins us live. Next, talk about Mac Brown's future with the team. Stay tuned.
Now, KVR News at 9 Sports.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm Amy Johnson. The Longhorn football team had a disappointing loss this weekend against the Baylor Bears up in Waco. Baylor recently lost to Oklahoma State and barely pulled the win against TCU. So Texas went into the game with high hopes. Temperatures were in the 20s, but that didn't stop fans from attending the high-stakes game. In the first quarter, news spread that Oklahoma had just beat Oklahoma State, turning the game in Waco into a battle for the Big 12 championship. If that wasn't motivation enough, it was Baylor's last game to ever play at Floyd Casey Stadium. In the first half, both teams struggled offensively with the freezing weather, but Baylor came out on top in the second half, winning 30-10. So after the loss, the Longhorns are heading to the Alamo Bowl for the second year in a row. They'll take on Pac-12 powerhouse Oregon on December 30th in San Antonio. With their win, Baylor clinched the Big 12 title and will now be heading to Arizona for the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl against Central Florida. Meanwhile, Florida State and Auburn will be battling it out for the national championship at the Rose Bowl. It's the last time the nation's top two teams will automatically play for the championship because next year a 4-team playoff will be implemented.
So now, a lot of people thought Mac Brown was playing for his job this weekend against Baylor. Longhorns lost, obviously. A lot of speculations, rumors about Mac Brown's future at Texas. Is Nick Saban coming? We don't really know. What do you think? Do you think Mac Brown will be the head coach of Texas football next year?
You know, honestly, John, as many rumors as there are going around about this, I don't think so. You know, Mac is so strong with the UT community, and it seems like he's got a big foot in the door, and he's not going anytime soon. Like, yes, the past 4 years have been a disappointment, but I think they're going to keep him around another year. Yeah. And, I mean, honestly, that's not going to make a lot of Longhorn fans very happy, but...
You know, it'll be interesting to see with the new athletic director what takes place, but, you know, only time will tell. We don't have the answers right now, but thank you, Amy, for that. Up next, Joanna Lyles has your entertainment news. Joanna, what you got for us?
A huge rating smash for NBC and WTF Selena, why Ms. Gomez wasn't too pleased at the Jingle Ball. Stay tuned, you're watching KVR News.
You're watching KVR News at 9. Your campus, your news.
Welcome back to KVR News. I'm Joanna Lyles. Well, the Hills are still alive with the sound of ratings Thursday night when nearly 18.4 million viewers tuned in to watch NBC's live broadcast of The Sound of Music. The musical, starring American Idol alum Carrie Underwood, received mixed reviews, many noting Underwood's amateur acting talent, but despite the criticism, the event was considered a huge success for the network, drawing NBC's largest viewing audience since the finale of ER in 2009. And pop sensation Selena Gomez got a little annoyed with some audio issues during Kiss FM's annual Jingle Ball on Friday. The 21-year-old singer yelled "What the F" at her crew before storming off stage after her audio malfunctioned. She soon returned to the stage apologizing to her fans and promising to play 2 more songs, but when she finished Come and Get It, she left the stage not finishing her set as promised. Gomez wasn't the only one to experience audio problems during the concert. Ariana Grande also had difficulties joking to fans, "At least you know I wasn't singing to a track." And heading to the movie theater doesn't seem like such a bad idea in this cold weather. And there's plenty of blockbusters and Oscar hopefuls coming out this month. The second part of the 3-film series, The Hobbit, hits theaters this Friday. Potential Oscar nominee American Hustle then comes to the big screen on the 18th, starring Christian Bale, Jennifer Lawrence, Amy Adams, and Bradley Cooper. If comedy is more of your thing, Will Ferrell's Channel 4 news team will be providing the laughs in Anchorman 2. Tom Hanks is bringing icon Walt Disney to life on screen in the movie Saving Mr. Banks. That comes out on December 20th. On Christmas Day, you can pick between Ben Stiller in the adventure comedy The Secret Life of Walter Mitty or Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street. And another Oscar hopeful, Lone Survivor, hits theaters on the 27th. Mark Wahlberg stars in the movie based on a true story of heroism, courage, and a survival of 4 Navy SEALs on a mission to neutralize a high-level Al-Qaeda operative. So plenty of choices this holiday season. Let us know your favorites by tweeting us at KVR News. That's your entertainment for this week. I'm Joanna Lyles.
All right, thanks, Joanna. I know out of the movies you just listed, I am definitely seeing Anchorman. I will quote that movie for years, because I'm still quoting the first one.
Yeah, definitely. That's only appropriate that that's the first one on my list. It's not the top choice.
You stay classy, Austin. All right, guys, now thank you for joining us. I'm John Scott.
And I'm Cathryn Walker. KVR News is taking a break now for the holidays, but we'll return to your screens in 2014. For news and weather anytime, you can follow us on Twitter at KVR News. Have a great holiday season and good night.